It's Wednesday, March 9th, 2022, back here in the studio talking about a DC banger we've been waiting on for a year and a half. Matt Reeves is here with a brand new take on The Dark Knight. It's Batman. We got Scotty Scoop, the Giggler, and Carrie Clark in the fourth seat. This is Mostly Superheroes. Hello and welcome to Mostly Superheroes, a weekly pursuit for the world's best stories with an emphasis on live-action superhero stuff. I'm your host, Logan. Here we are again, folks, St. Louis, Missouri, in the basement, getting funky. Scotty Scoop.
Oh, yeah.
Giggler.
Hey, friends. Wow. I like this.
What do you guys think of the music?
I like this.
And welcome to the show for the very first time, right here, Carrie Clark.
Hi.
Well, to the studio.
That's right. Second time on the show.
Second time on the show. First time was the Fast and Furious episode, which can we all agree we talked about too many movies.
If anyone watched that episode, they are still watching it.
Yeah.
It was neither fast nor furious.
It was a slow roll.
Hey, we did talk through how many movies, though?
Family.
All of them?
8?
8 at the
No,
time?
probably 9. Did you
I think
guys
9.
do Tokyo Drift?
Yes,
Yes.
and also Hobbs and Shaw.
We did, but the latest
Oh,
wasn't out
okay.
yet.
So then 10.
Wait,
But the latest wasn't out yet.
Yeah, the latest at that time.
Tokyo Drift doesn't have a number.
Well,
Neither does Hobbs and Shaw.
We all
Well,
know it's...
it's number 3. Tokyo Drift is number 3. Obviously.
Was there not a Fast and Furious 3?
I
Well,
mean,
it
it
was
is Tokyo Drift.
Not,
but
Oh.
not in the title.
Oh, okay.
Fast 9 was the latest one, right?
Uh-huh.
But technically, it's like the 11th if you count
Okay.
if you count all the Hobbs
Oh
and
my.
Shaw. And all
well,
that
and
or
if you
whatever.
want to get real in the fandom.
Well, let's just go into Fast and the Furious episode
Yeah.
part 2.
So,
I mean,
Let's
that.
do it.
see, there's a lot
Isn't
to
that
talk
coming
about.
up?
There
Isn't that
is.
coming up?
Well, and
Remind-
it's actually, if you guys read the show notes I emailed you, then you know the answer is yes. We are actually going to talk a little bit about Fast and Furious today, just a little
Oh.
bit during the news.
We got some
Yeah,
casting.
I thought I
news.
just time traveled for a second.
Yeah, I know. Well, the funniest thing is you were like, does it have a number, Tokyo Drift? Well, that was actually like a major prequel or something. Like they were like, this took place before Fast and Furious like 6, and you were supposed to like the chronological order is like 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 3.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And of course, Fast and the Furious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time travel.
Well, we're here to talk about another group of superheroes, or at least a superhero. And we're super pumped to talk about the Batman today. It finally came. Andy's seen it twice.
Pattinson.
Pattinson, second time was yesterday. You excited to get into the meat today?
Yes. This is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yes, of course. I knew that coming in.
It's Batman, though, so.
It's Batman. And I've known from day one that you're a diehard. Scotty, I don't think we've ever talked about this point blank. Where's Batman falling for you?
Batman has never really been that high, but yeah, I like Batman.
Enough. And Carrie Clark. I guess I call you Carrie Clark in the show for some reason.
That's fine.
I guess I'm just like, I mean, we can go and plug it. Carrie Clark Design. If you're looking for the people that made that Mostly Superheroes brand, tell us people about your relationship with Batman.
Well, I was introduced to Batman through Six Flags
Mhm.
originally. I hadn't seen any of the movies. It was 1995,
Wow.
and I had a season pass. I don't want to brag, but the Batman had just been built, and that was my first view of like what Gotham actually was. And I thought that I was like, what is this? Because it was, I thought, the coolest ride and experience. And then Six Flags really just like hit the throttle and rebranded another ride, like the Joker. They
Mhm.
got Mr. Freeze. And then I started watching the movies.
You were
I guess.
roller coaster
Wow.
first.
I guess. Yeah.
That's
and,
really
and
cool.
honestly,
What
like,
an origin story.
so, but then like never really got into a lot of the older Batman movies until we've watched them recently,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely a fan of like the Bale movies and was really excited for this one. And I'm a huge fan of Gotham, the TV show.
Hell yeah, we really enjoyed watching Gotham together. Can't wait to hear your opinions during the meet today, breaking the movie wide open, and super thrilled to have you on the show with us today. So welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for filling that 4th seat for us. It's so cool to see you in here. And it's different for me. It's different for Carrie. It's different for all of us. It's going to be a whole new episode with music involved. You guys like the music opening?
Yes.
We're bringing
It's
it
my
in.
favorite.
We got it, and there's going to be more music coming at you from Audionautics. You can go find them at audionautics.com. This is through the YouTube audio library. There's a lot of assets and sounds out there for you creators that are totally free. You just got to give people credit. Make sure you list it in your description. Tell them what you're working with. And then our music today will be from Audionautics. So I can't wait to sprinkle that in throughout the show. But first up, as always, got a lot to talk about. Some fans to highlight, some great news, what you watching titles before we get to the meet. Let's open up with the fans.
Fan mail.
We always open up the show with fan mail. This is mostly superheroes, and we want to hear your voice. We want to get your text message. We have a studio phone at 754-CALL-LOG. It's 754-225-5564. Save it in your phone. It's mostly superheroes. We do have a fan voicemail to feature during the meet. Cannot wait to do it. First up, though, today, since we're highlighting most of our fans in the meet, we have a lot of Batman fan mail. Of course, Batman being as big as he is. We got some lists to highlight. Lots of folks from online that reached out to us. Can't wait. But for today, I had to highlight a conversation that got a little debate going on Twitter with Rob Keyes, who is the creator of Screen Rant, and also our boy Will Compton, who's host of Bussin' with the Boys, a podcast out there, and Will's a longtime friend of mine. Rob Keyes says Captain Crunch and Golden Grahams are the greatest sugary cereals. I came out, said I disagree with this. Personal favorite, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Rob says, get the F out with that soggy, sandy shit. Will jumped in. He agreed. Golden Grahams, trash. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is great. He also loves Crunch Berries, which is Captain Crunch, obviously. And then Rob shared this. I mean, I've never heard of this in my life. Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinnadust that like comes in like a container that you can sprinkle Cinnadust onto like your toast or something. So I just wanted to go round table real quick. We kind of got a little heated here on Twitter. I'm not even showing the whole discussion. You can go follow that online. Giggler, let's start with you. Give us your top cereal.
Corn Pops.
Corn Pops?
Yeah, I'm weird.
Get on this mic.
Wow.
I'm weird. I don't know why. It's just that's the only cereal that I ever eat. I don't eat a lot of cereal. So
I liked Corn Pops.
Corn
okay,
Pops.
good.
Do you remember Corn Pops?
I remember Corn Pops.
It's just basic.
I'd like to.
I don't even
Corn
know if
Pops.
that's like considered a sugary one. Probably not. but
No, it was like bland puffs.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it. I don't know. I never got into like the sugary ones.
Carrie.
Honestly, Golden Grahams has always been one of my favorites. And anytime I answer that, when I'm asked this question, I get, Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of glad that he put Golden Grahams right there in the beginning. I agree with him. Golden
Yeah.
Grahams are great.
You're in. So you and Rob totally agree. All right, Scotty?
First off, Golden Grahams are trash.
All right, agreed.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best cereal. And why anyone would put Captain Crunch? Crunch berries exist.
Yeah.
Why would anyone choose to eat Captain Crunch?
Yeah.
When Crunch berries are a thing.
So you're saying that Captain Crunch is like the yellow pieces with the Crunch berries.
No. Captain Crunch is just
it's just the yellow.
It's just the yellow.
And then they brought the berries.
And then
in.
they brought Crunch berries.
And then they did
there's
Oops All Berries.
Whoops.
Oh, we accidentally dropped this bin.
What a happy accident. Those people at the Crunch Berry factory are idiots because it just keeps happening.
Yeah, and like thank goodness they have these great designers on hand that can be like, well, we can get you a box.
We'll fix it.
They're like, what if
We'll
we own
fix it.
this? And we're like, whoops.
What'd you guys think of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berries? Were you guys fans of these?
Not a fan of chocolate cereal.
None?
None.
Cocoa Pebbles?
Nope.
Anything
Fruity
that little.
Pebbles.
Reese's Puffs, maybe a little bit.
Cocoa
That
Puffs.
sounds kind of good. Cocoa Puffs, I'd be in for too. A little
Lucky
bit,
Charms.
Cookie Crisp?
Cookie Crisp.
Oh.
All right.
Ooh,
What about Waffle Crisp?
it's been a while.
They were
we
little
should have just
waffles.
We should have
Yeah.
had like taste tests, like just cereal.
Well, we could
all
do this.
of
This
them
is the
out.
beginning.
Mostly
of this.
cereal.
Mostly cereal.
Is this cool about what to be what Mostly Madness is going to be? Just cereal debates.
If we
'Cause
can
it's
get our-
March.
if we
It's
can get-
March.
If we can get our shit together,
just realized.
is it going to happen?
Oh,
Like
crap.
today's March
It's already
9th.
March.
You know, IMAX has a tournament out there right now that's a movie tournament. I'm like about to just be like do we just let's do the IMAX movie tournament
Yes.
so we don't have to deal? I'll pass them out. Like
We should do that.
Carrie's saying, like, because she's the one that has to make all the assets for it. I'm like, dude, oh my god, it's so much manpower.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, appreciate the share, fans. We want to hear from you on the cereal debate. I think it's far from over. It's something that happens for all time, especially us 90s sugar kids. I mean, who doesn't love a sugary cereal?
Oh yeah.
What about nowadays? Do your kids eat what kind of? Your kids eat
Cinnamon
cereal?
Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yep, I got Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms.
Do you eat cereal still?
Just nah, not really.
We just got back on a cereal kick.
I want to get in one now because it's for whatever reason it's been brought up in my circles a lot lately. So I need to up my cereal game.
What we get?
Special K,
Special K
Okay.
Special
strawberries,
K.
strawberries,
Whoa.
and the fruit and yogurt.
and we put bananas on top.
It's a
Oh,
vehicle for sliced up bananas.
Yes.
Cereal.
Health.
There you go. All right, fan mail's all about cereal today. More fans coming later in the meet. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Will. Get on Twitter. Follow us at Mostly Superhero and weigh in on the conversation. With that, let's talk about the news.
News and rumors.
Quick couple bits of news today. Looking at first up, a new trailer just dropped. Remember the prequels in the Star Wars area? Well, they're cool again. Ewan McGregor's back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. The trailer is here, coming at us here from The Verge. Appreciate Chaim Gartenberg over there giving us the link. I watched this earlier. Holy cow, this thing looks unbelievable. Obi-Wan, Anakin, droids, new characters I've never heard of. Everything going on. Giggler, how did this trailer go for you today?
All I needed to hear was just the last 2 seconds.
Which part?
Oh, you also got
That guy. Yep. There we go.
I feel like the Batman took a page out
Yeah.
of the score
Right?
from Star Wars. Scotty, how'd this one go for you?
Oh man, I am so amped for this. This trailer just, I know it's a limited series, but it looked like a movie.
Yeah, and it feels like a movie.
Yes.
Feels like they're saying, like, we're back.
Yeah, like we're going all in on this. Like Mando, all this other Star Wars stuff, it's going to pale in comparison to what we bring to the table here.
And I don't want to skip you, Carrie, but you didn't watch this today, right?
No.
And you're
Didn't.
and you're still like Star Wars. I think in terms of you, like we watched The Mandalorian. You're all in.
Yeah.
I think you heard our Boba Fett episode. You and I were kind of on the same page about this.
Yep.
Did you watch any of the movies with Ewan McGregor ever with
No.
Star Wars?
No.
So this is just like to you, like another Star Wars show.
Mhm.
So for us, though, I mean, when that episode 3 ended, right? And we're talking the prequel days, and you got Obi-Wan and I'm going to drop off Luke and Leia at these different places. When you were watching that movie, you were like, I want to see all this.
Like there's just too much that happens between 3 and 4. And you're like, where is this?
And like then the next thing you see is just Luke and Leia thinking they're not brother and
Right.
sister.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan is 80.
Yeah, and he does he has like one last fight.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get the middle ground.
Oh,
Obi-Wan's back.
yes.
The show's here. Do we know how many episodes? Anybody know?
I'm
No
going to say
clue.
probably 6.
Just a guess.
No
Yeah,
clue.
I'm guessing it's 6.
8.
just calling it Star Wars Episode 3.5.
You're saying that's the rating?
That's just what I know. No, just Episode 3.5 because it's just in
Oh,
between.
I
3
thought you
and
were
4.
already like it's a 3.5.
No.
Yeah.
I hope it's a 4.0, but I don't know.
The limited series part scares me because it just means to me like this is like one and done. But like you're gonna get like young Luke Skywalker. It looks like
Yeah, he looked to be about maybe 8.
Yep.
8 to 10.
Hayden Christensen is full on back in the suit,
Yeah.
helmet off, live action Darth Vader. Looks like they've done this in the Clone Wars from time to time. You've watched it.
Mhm.
Does it look like similar things they've done, but now it's like
Yeah,
he's back.
They're going all out.
Gonna have a rematch at some point.
He was in it with his helmet off.
In the
in the
trailer?
trailer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even notice.
Did you
I-
watch-
I skimmed it honestly.
Did you accidentally just watch Boba Fett again?
Thank God, no. No.
All right, we can't wait for this. This is coming up, what, this summer?
May 25th.
May 25th, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can bet your butt we'll be talking about it. Cannot wait. Next up, movie that just came to streaming services, Fast and Furious F9, finally coming to HBO Max. This was on March 4th, so actually it's already there if you're listening to this. And I brought this up for one simple reason. We talked about it in the opening of today's episode, of course. Are we going to talk about this movie, Andy?
I'm impartial.
You don't
I
care.
still haven't seen most of this franchise, so But I really enjoyed listening to you guys break it down with my boy Mikey. So
And he's dying to come
oh,
and
yeah,
talk
he
about
would-
this.
He would be in here for like in a heartbeat.
Carrie.
You guys know I'll always talk about them.
So you're in.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the F9? Because we saw it in theaters
Yeah, we did.
and you loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked out and you were like, that was perfect.
That's a Fast and the Furious movie.
I'd for sure.
That's what
see
we're
this
all there
movie,
for.
though, to prepare for this. Like
Yeah,
I didn't see
I've not seen it either.
when
So
you
you-
guys came to me with the last Fast and Furious episode. I wasn't gonna watch 8 movies
To catch up.
to catch
Well,
up. but-
we did.
Yeah, we were watching them all. We were like, we're primed and ready. Didn't know we were going to talk for 3 hours. Scotty, you're not in on the franchise, are you?
I'm excited for the new castings. You guys hear?
Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa added as the villain.
Just playing Aquaman.
Yeah, he's just Aquaman.
He's the best.
Barry has really screwed up the timeline this time.
Yeah, it took me to that flashpoint. All right, well, it sounds like between Mike and Carrie, I think we could find enough of a reason to get in here.
Definitely.
Okay, Fast and Furious F9. If you are a fan, go watch it on HBO Max. It's just sitting there ready for you, and you can probably watch for a future episode of Mostly Superheroes where we talk about it. Let's get into what we're watching.
What you watching?
What you watching? That's where we tell you what we're watching, what we're reading, what we're doing out here in the real world, and we want to feature you during this segment. We'd love to feature fans first, but this week it's us, Giggler. We're going round table, so you're up first. Tell us about what you're watching on Disney Plus.
Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Plus. Oh man, this is just so much better than expected.
Well, hold on. Let's clarify. Spider-Man.
Cartoon.
But there's
1990s, yes.
because
Yeah,
Disney
93,
Plus has
I think.
many Spider-Man
Yes, you're right.
cartoons,
My fault. You're right.
Right?
There is a lot. You're right. This. I think it was 94 when this came out.
and this is the one that the
This
good
is
one.
this is like
The good
everything. I just expected it just to be going in. I was like, this is just going to be Spider-Man, his villains, and they're just going to keep recycling stories here and there. But like this has everyone in it. There's a whole season with Doctor Strange. Like
Really?
that brings in everybody. Like I don't want to spoil stuff, but like you see
Characters is good.
everyone. X-Men. You see
What?
like Avengers. It's just great. Yeah, I never knew that was a thing. I guess I didn't. I remember watching parts of this as a kid, but not
Same.
100%. But it was extremely enjoyable. Like start to finish. There's definitely some slow times where you get to like a villain that you didn't know much about, and you're like, what? This person, this is weird. And I just like, but then again, you just never know if you're going to see that person. Like there's one that Chameleon, I think was one.
Oh,
person
yeah.
that person that was a huge part of the show that I hadn't seen at all, and then they just casted that person to be in I think Kraven the Hunter, possibly.
Craven, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember who the casting was, but then it just ends with like the final few episodes were really good. So at least skip to the end, watch like the
Did
last
you? So
season.
you watched beginning?
I
to
watched
end.
5 seasons in like a couple weeks.
Wow, that's really cool. Like I'm hearing what you're saying. Like because I remember watching this as a kid, and like I think the misconception is I watched all these. You know, I've seen all these, and then like when you like I'm learning with the X-Men because I rewatch whenever after she goes to sleep, I watch X-Men at night. And I'm like, every episode, I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this show is crazy. I'm like, they're in some alternate dimension now. Like, Professor Xavier and Magneto are just walking around. I don't remember this, you know? I bet
Yep.
Spider-Man's probably pretty similar.
It was way better than expected, and the last few episodes were just like almost like this was all kind of I was watching it like shortly after No Way Home, so this was all
You were in the
fresh.
mood.
Yeah, there was lots of Spideys. It was amazing.
Well, you watched the whole show. What's your rating?
I would give it like 3.4.
Nice.
It's hard to rate cartoons, I guess, but the story was. I mean, it kept me entertained. There were a few times, like I said, that were kind of a little boring, but you can just skip certain episodes and you're not going to miss much.
Yeah, you're still
Yeah,
watching a
you
fun
can-
cartoon.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, there's 5 seasons, like maybe 10 to 12 each. So it's so watch.
you watch this?
Quick watch.
Oh, I've watched it. Yeah.
When's the last, like recently?
I'll run an episode every now and then.
Your kids watch it?
My kids have never been into this kind of stuff. They watched a lot of Teen Titans. You remember the Teen Titans?
Oh, Teen Titans. I
cartoons?
was into
Yeah.
that.
Oh, they love that show.
That was fun.
Yeah.
You got a little corny. And I'm guessing, Carrie?
Never.
Not really. Like, what were your cartoons?
I was more of a like early on like Beavis and Butthead and Daria.
Of course.
And then I mean, I guess like
You had cool parents.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't even watch Ren and Stimpy.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Beavis and
definitely.
Butthead.
Yeah, definitely watch that. But also like the Nickelodeon cartoons, like Rugrats and all that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Real Monsters.
Mhm.
You guys watch that?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was. I could
Yeah.
I was barely
Wow.
allowed to watch that one,
Really?
just because it was
Wow.
kind of different.
Was it because of the eyeball guy?
Eyeball guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? He's holding those?
It's
Yeah.
like a big nutsack.
Yeah, that's what my mom said, Andy. I was 7. All right, next up, let's go round table. Carrie Clark, you watched this on Showtime?
I did. Yes, we watched it's called UFO. Are you ready?
Tell us.
It is a miniseries from J.J. Abrams, and
Interesting.
it's kind of like a fresh look at UFOs and aliens and how like the historical overview of when they first started showing up in the media and ties to the government. And I guess the like, big idea is they're not trying, I mean, it's another documentary about this stuff. It's the same kind of footage that you've seen in like all the other ones that are on Netflix, but we liked it. We thought it showed like some fresh things that I hadn't heard before and other stuff. And I mean, it's just very interesting to me. All of
Yeah.
it.
It was like a 4-part, and
Mhm.
what intrigued us was that it was the more recent news since like they released the big drop about all the stuff out of the Pentagon in 2021.
Mhm.
This is like that's like what triggered this to be made. They were like, okay, we're gonna address a lot of what came out. So I think we felt like, yeah, we saw a lot of things that we had like seen before, but we saw a lot of things that we had never seen before too. Like there were like some new sightings that I had never personally seen. You may have because you were more in tune. So a little bit cookie cutter, but I think it brought a lot more to the table than like your typical alien documentary. You know, it wasn't like above and beyond like where we ended it and we were like, oh my God, we got to get everybody
They're
watch
here.
this. But it was like
Yeah.
we didn't regret watching it.
Yeah. And I think they did a good job of also bringing in people that like, I mean, you recognize a lot of the people across, like there's a reporter, George
Knapp.
I think.
Yep.
And he's been in a bunch of them that we've watched because like they're the experts in it and they're the ones that have like spent like their whole careers like doing this. So it's good to hear from familiar faces and that they have a platform to talk about this kind of stuff. And
They
it's
also
all interesting.
Well, they also did a lot of like the first time I'd seen a documentary really like tackle it head on is like they were talking about the government putting out like here's this news and talking about them on purpose like misleading the public all the time. That like if it's really about this, like it's probably like 3 more levels deeper. That like this isn't what they actually wanted you to know. It's more like look over here because back here is like you know we actually have new ships we don't want you to know about.
Yeah.
Giggler, Andy, or Scotty Scoop, either one. Have you guys seen this?
No, I'm
No.
interested.
I didn't know J.J. Abrams had anything to do with it, and I also didn't realize it was a documentary.
Exactly. You think like J.J. Abrams, UFO, this is a story.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all real.
So do these like 1 hour episodes, give or
Yeah.
take?
About
Yeah,
four,
I think that.
about 4
Maybe
1
a little longer than that.
Are we alone?
Definitely not.
I mean, like for me, it's like no, duh, we're not alone.
Yeah, you'd be foolish
Yeah.
to think
What
we're
a
alone.
what a
Yeah.
yeah.
Infinite
Yeah.
galaxy here.
Like
Yeah.
it's so big that I don't know how you could believe there's not at least just one other planet with
Yeah.
like somebody. The question it becomes is like, are they coming regularly? Like, are aliens coming back and forth regularly and like have been here for a long time and influence us in some way? Or are they visiting because they're just kind of spectating? Like, have they been here on the planet before? Me and Carrie think yes, just with the history and a lot of the things that like can't be explained in terms of like the pyramids and like other pieces of history that you just can't quite grasp. It's like they've probably like been around. You believe in aliens?
Yeah, I agree. There's something like that. Got to be.
All right.
Just odds are not. Yeah,
It'd be cool if they were just. I just want it to happen where it's like it's just on every news channel at
Yeah.
the same time, and it's like there's an alien, and he's like, "We're
Listen-
here now."
Listen,
What's up, guys?
we can finally tell you everything.
He's wearing like a Marvel shirt.
They're like, yeah, maybe they're like, let's just give them superheroes first, and then we'll break the news
Yeah.
that this is way bigger than they
Slowly
even
work it in.
think.
Show
yeah.
them Eternals.
Yeah. Once they start grasping like a multi-universe concept, then we can start
we can
like
talk to 'em.
really talking to
Like
them.
we need about 10 more seasons of Rick and Morty before we can show up.
oh, geez, Rick.
How about a rating?
3.2.
Nice. Made that 3. Made it over the
Fair.
3. I like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it like a 3.0.
Okay.
Like it because
Fair.
it was just there.
Yeah.
All right, UFO Showtime. Go check it out. 4-part series. Scotty Scoop, you're up. This is on Amazon. Tell us about this one.
Reacher. Anybody familiar with this one?
Only that it's been made.
Okay.
A couple. Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher was Tom Cruise.
Okay, that's all I know.
He did 2 films.
Never saw him.
So this is based on a series called Jack Reacher, written by Lee Child. He published the first book in 1997, and there are 27 so far in this book series. He is a former Army investigator, and he is just a badass. I mean, look at him. Look at him, guys.
That's the most badass poster I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Alan
Richson.
played Aquaman on Smallville.
Aquaman on Smallville. Hawk on Titans.
Yep.
He was Raphael in the 2 latest Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah.
Blue Mountain State. Anybody watch that?
I have before, and I've seen him in it.
Okay, so basically, they made the 2 films with Tom Cruise. A lot of the fan base, and this is 100 million sold book series.
Very famous, popular book.
Very popular book.
A lot of fans happy to see.
A lot
this.
of fans. They were very disappointed. Tom Cruise is. I'm just gonna put this out here. Tom Cruise is my favorite actor.
Period. Oh, this is why you were so pumped about the Ultimate Spider-Man or Iron Man theory.
Yes.
You're like, please.
I loved those movies.
Okay.
A lot of the fans were disheartened. As good as Tom Cruise is, he's only 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
And in the books, he is this.
Yeah.
Large, very imposing.
Yeah.
Basically,
A guy that can sweat well.
yeah, he's basically a roided out Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And this first season of Reacher, already been renewed for a second season, was fantastic. 8 episodes, about an hour each. He just strolls into this town, and this is what you'll find about this character. He is just...
Watch the spoilers.
okay, well, he's basic to this character. He doesn't really have a home.
Okay.
He wanders from town to town. He lives on, I guess, his pension, and just does whatever he wants and solves crimes.
He's doing his thing.
He's just doing his thing. He shows up in a town. Some murders happen.
So this is probably a little bit different than the previous iterations, which were more probably like, we're an organization, we're going to bring you in.
Right. There's the murders. He gets accused in episode 1 and has to kind of figure his way out of it. And some of the best choreographed fight scenes. Man, there's some good action in this show and good mystery. Kept me glued to my seat for 8 episodes. I was waiting for each one. Fantastic show.
Go ahead and rate it.
3.7.
Wow.
I am down for more of this. And like I said, 27 books.
Yeah.
Already renewed for season 2. We're going to see more of this show.
You're excited.
At least 5 seasons.
Did Shanna watch it?
Yeah, she watched some of it.
And? Oh, some of it.
Yeah. She was just like not connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
You seen this?
No, but that was good.
Will you watch it?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Amazon Prime.
I'll look into it.
Watch the first episode. You'll be hooked.
Okay.
He's pushing you.
Amazon
Come
Prime.
on.
Amazon Prime is a win. Like they know what they're doing.
Did you watch the
they do.
Jack
They've
Ryan show?
on some stuff.
No.
Lately.
No?
John Krasinski.
With
That's
Jim?
one that's kind of
Jim.
that I've been like really close to my
Also
that
a
list.
great show.
I just never been like crazy into like those stories, like like Tom Clancy.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
I think
And
it's
it's
like-
kind of like that.
Similar, right?
It's a murder mystery.
Oh well.
But
I mean, that might get us.
yeah. Murder
I
mystery.
think we'll watch it.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Reacher
Reacher.
on
Hardly-
Amazon Prime.
Look at that.
Reacher
guy.
hardly know.
Only for the mystery.
All right. Thanks, Scotty Scoop. Highly reviewed. Reacher, go check it out. Last but not least, myself, Apple TV Plus, The Shrink Next Door. 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd. This is apparently a true story, but the show does open up with a disclaimer of we have intensified certain situations and dramatized certain things to make it more probably entertaining. But the general idea here is Will Ferrell plays an introverted, nerdy 30-year-old man that just is barely running his business. His dad is like passed away and he's running the shop now. He's got a sister that's like very involved, helps him like keep his anxiety under control. Finally decides to go see a therapist to get help. That's Paul Rudd. And this guy is not a great therapist. He does not understand boundaries. It goes from therapist to best friend to family friend. And I will not say anything else because it's Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd playing a couple Jewish guys, and it was just an absolute joy. I'd give it absolutely a 3.5.
Wow.
Would you add anything?
It was based off of a podcast
Yes.
that was on the Wondery Network, I believe.
Yep.
Called The Shrink Next Door. And I listened to the podcast a long time ago, but it must have been like I binged it like traveling or something because I don't remember it very well, but the TV show was great. They did a really good job making it into a TV show.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
the acting was great.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to tell you, Apple TV, it's like we've only watched a handful of things on there, but I got to say the success rate is high. I mean, you talk about the movies we've seen, TV show that we watched, Severance. We're in the middle of that right now, and like that's one that we're watching weekly because I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Very good shows.
Very good
Nice.
shows. Like shows that are going to make you go like, oh shit. Like, like you just kind of really start looking. They show some hard looks. Andy, do you have Apple TV Plus?
I do. I actually turned this on one day and watched like half of the first episode and fell asleep, and I just never restarted it. But you have ignited the flame. I'll go back here for sure.
Well, and I think they're like 35, 40-minute episodes.
I love Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd. So it's just a matter. I remember seeing this preview and it was like, this needs to happen. I don't know if Apple TV just doesn't like advertise a lot or something.
What are you watching on?
That's what I watch it on, but I just don't like. I don't see like ads for a lot of their shows until like after it comes out. I don't know.
Do you have Apple TV Plus?
I don't.
Not yet.
No.
Have you thought about it?
I have.
Because I'm not here to pressure you to do it either. I'm genuinely curious.
I've thought about it. I mean, it sounds like they've got some good content. If I were to sign up for a couple of months and just kind of binge some of it, and if I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't,
Mythic Quest. It's very high up
Mythic
there.
Quest. I saw what's the soccer one?
Ted Lasso.
Ted
yeah,
Lasso.
That's the first two that come to
Paul-
my mind.
Movie,
Personally.
Justin Timberlake, Palmer.
Yeah.
Palmer. You guys have talked about. Is it the morning show?
Yep.
Morning Show.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
That
great.
Amazing Stories.
Oh, Amazing Stories. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever watch Amazing Stories
No.
before? It's like
No.
they brought it back, I guess. This is like a show from like decades. I say decades ago, at least 10 years plus ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
Kind of sci-fi-y. Each episode, it's kind of like Black Mirror almost.
Kind of like Black
Oh, okay.
Mirror,
Meets-
X-Files,
yeah.
not X-Files, Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So new premise every week,
Yeah, totally.
basically.
Totally new
Okay.
everything.
Kind of intertwined, though.
It's just like, oh, we'll just give him something to do.
Well,
because-
it's not just
'cause it's
him.
him.
It's Steven Spielberg and like I want to say one or two big name writers, but
Okay.
we haven't watched it, so it's probably been going on about 2 years since we've seen that,
Yeah, it came out way before COVID.
and we've been waiting for more seasons. We were
And-
like, please,
yeah, we don't know what's happening.
we don't. Apple, tell us.
But great show.
All right, Shrink Next Door, Apple TV Plus, lots happening on there. Good variety today,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Something from just about everywhere. And with that, we are warmed up. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it is time to talk about the latest iteration of The Dark Knight, Matt Reeves, the Batman. Stick around. We'll be right back.
In 1961, the Fantastic Four returned from space and the world changed forever.
Over the next year, the Earth experienced 3 alien attacks, the destruction of Lower Manhattan, and the re-emergence of ancient gods.
Super Serious 616 is the podcast that covers it all from the inside.
What would it be like to live in that world?
Join Ed and Mike as they ask questions no one else is asking.
Is Iron Man a good use of shareholder capital?
Subscribe at Super Serious 616 or wherever you get your podcasts.
The meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan, back here again with Scotty Scoop, the Giggler, and Carrie here. Got 4 people in the studio here to talk about a film we have been waiting on for about a year and a half, 2 years since we probably heard the mumblings of this thing. It is the meat, the chunk, the sizzle. It's why you came. It's why you're here. It's why we're here. And today it's all about a brand new iteration of a character seen many times over the decades in comic books, TV series, and many movies. We have a new film coming at us from Matt Reeves. We're going to talk about it, break it down, spoiler alert right now for The Batman. Movie premiered on March 3rd, 2022. Came out of Warner Brothers Studios, of course. DC Comics, directed by Matt Reeves. Music by Michael Giacchino. Did I say that right, Scotty?
Yes.
That is, if you don't know, Lost. Many other titles. We see his name pop up across, I feel like, all sorts of things we watch. But I remember him from Lost. He brought it in this movie, too. This movie had a budget of $200 million. How'd it do at the box office? It's killing it, if you're wondering. Let's hear from Erik Davis at Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes. He says, this was 3 days ago. The Batman grabs $128.5 million in its opening weekend. That is the biggest opening of 2022 so far, the 5th biggest opening for a DC Comics movie, the 3rd biggest for DCEU, and 3rd for a solo Batman film, and WB's first movie to cross $100 million opening weekend since 2017's It. From The Wrap, we love The Wrap. We read articles from them all the time, reading straight from them with $258 million already in the bank. This was from this morning. Worldwide, and a strong word of mouth from critics and audiences, The Batman has a good chance to join Spider-Man No Way Home as the second movie of the COVID era to gross over $1 billion worldwide on its reported $200 million budget. This is crazy. The Batman, of course, one of the most popular superheroes of all time, and it seems like everyone out here agrees. I don't have the ratings in front of me. Anybody know what the Rotten Tomatoes is off the top of their head? I know that, I think I looked this morning, it was at like 93%. Going high, looking hot, and we're going to talk about the story. A little bit about the synopsis before we get into it. We'll do a roundtable of gut checks here. The story here, reading straight from Google, Batman ventures into Gotham City's underworld when a sadistic killer leaves behind a trail of cryptic clues. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home and the scale of the perpetrator's plans becomes clear, he must forge many new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuser of power and corruption that has long plagued the Metropolis. I mean, Google the Metropolis. Let's just say what it is. Gotham City.
Gotham City.
I mean, that's a little too close to Superman. Well, let's do a roundtable right here. We talk about Batman a lot in the show. I'm a huge fan, but I want to hear from you guys. Giggler, all the hype of this character, of this movie. We talked about it a year and a half ago when that trailer came out. Going into the film, what did this movie mean to you? Seeing the preview, what Matt Reeves had put out, going into the theater, what did you think about this thing?
Oh my God. I was so excited. Like, it's just a different feeling. Like, it's been a while. Like, just for whatever reason from the start, I just never had a good feeling about Batfleck, but Pattinson, I was very confident on, and it well over delivered expectations.
And you've seen it twice.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll see it again.
You'll see it again. Can't wait to get your rating. Talk about some of our favorite parts. Carrie, who is Batman to you, and what was this movie to you?
I was really, really excited for this movie. Dark Knight Rises were amazing, and I was hopeful that this was gonna strike kind of on that same level for me. And honestly, leaving the theater, it was kind of a bit of a disappointment, just because I think I had held it up too high, maybe. But I felt like I wanted a few other things. I didn't get a few things, and Pattinson was fine.
All right. And as always, we'll see how you feel when we get through it, because you always feel maybe a little different once we talk about it.
That's very true. I think that might happen.
Scotty Scoop, how about you? Give us a premise of where you were when you went into the theater for this one.
I went in with, I would say, even expectations with DC's recent track record. I mean, the only thing I can really say that was great in their current, I guess you could say the last 10 years, was Wonder Woman. And I was like, can they really do it? You know, everything looked great. Everything I was hearing was great. And I went in and I was, my expectations were met.
Nice. That's always a good thing.
Yes. I was neither disappointed or, overly happy.
Okay, I like
You
because
know?
there's a lot of mixed reviews out there. We got people saying this is the best Batman of all time. We got people saying that this guy didn't do it justice. We got a whole mixed bag, and we got a ton of fan mail to feature. We got some
Nice.
lists to feature. We got some written in reviews. Before that, let's do some gut checks. Got to give a shout out to a YouTube channel, Spoiler Explain. They helped me recap myself today, like a 6-minute, real tight. Here's what it did. I would highly recommend you go find Spoiler Explain. We'll have the link to that along with all the sources we mentioned in today's episode in the description. All right, we did those gut checks. Let's do a recap, review, and ratings. Let's get right into the story. Let's talk about some of our favorite parts. Let's talk about things we liked, things we didn't like. This is 2-year Batman, right?
Yep.
Spoiler-
Batman Year 2.
We're in. Spoiler alert for the film. He is just Robert Pattinson opening it up with a dialogue to himself via a Batman journal telling you about kind of where he is in Gotham City right now, which is, I'm 2 years in being Batman. This is my creed. And he's got like it's Matt Reeves decides very quickly, we're getting into the psyche of the Batman a little bit more.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that journal seemed to play a big role in the first 10 minutes, but not really anywhere else.
Right.
Seemed like they did the first open narration, and I don't remember much else throughout the movie. Maybe a little bit here and there.
Other than the fact that another character in the movie has his own journal later in
Yeah.
the movie that becomes part.
It's planting seeds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think for this one, because it's such. First of all, let's just talk about the movie. How long it is? 3 hours.
3 hours.
And it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, it felt like almost like it could have been broken up very easily in a miniseries. I think we should try to recap this one kind of quickly so we can get right into like our favorite parts.
Sure.
So, like, really quick, high level recap. We talked about some of the people in here. Robert Pattinson, of course, playing the Batman. Zoe Kravitz in here. Selena Kyle. Paul Dano is the Riddler. Colin Farrell. Here is the Penguin. Looks totally different. Jeffrey Wright. Everything he does is great. Playing
Yes.
James Gordon. And, man, this movie here, again, I kind of want to recap it somewhat quickly, just the basic storyline. But Batman is 2 years in. He's still new at this. And very quickly, he's going to have to be facing many different facets from Gotham. He's got the crime lords like Falcone, the Penguin, doing the things that they always do. And then he's got like the classic bad guys from Batman. And let's get out of the way. The big bad of this one is the Riddler. All right. What do you think of the Riddler,
Dude,
Andy?
He's just chilling.
That duct tape,
Yeah.
the mask,
Yeah.
the
It was-
voice.
He killed it. Like, honestly, just so dark and like just perfect for this environment, like in the movie. Like, I just for this Gotham, like this tone, I think, and everything, they killed it for sure.
Carrie, what did you think of Gotham City?
I feel like rains a lot.
That's
Rain.
There
a
was
great point.
so much rain.
A lot of water.
Too much water.
Mhm.
I love the grunge, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The city itself looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the handling of the grunge element felt a little bit like, we are making a grunge movie, so it has to have rain and it has to be dark.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish it was a little, I don't know, less like on the nose.
Yeah.
We are grunge.
It definitely felt a lot like I had those hints of like the Gotham TV show a little bit, even like further back to like the cartoon, the Batman 90s cartoon. It felt like right out of the gate, though, man, the first time we see the Batman in full force, it's straight out of the trailer. He beats up that gang of thugs, kind of shows you who he is. Scotty, talk to me what you thought about this bat suit.
I liked this bat suit. It seemed to be practical and basic.
The boots.
The boots,
Love the boots.
with some of the scenes where he was walking, kind of had like that spur jingle, like
Yeah.
kind of
He's
like a cowboy.
for real.
And I thought it was great. Especially in that opening scene where the thugs were all messing with the people and everything just kind of quiets down and you just hear him and they focus on the darkness and he just
Yes.
kind of emerges.
Yes. And this is where they drop you in, right? 2-year Batman on the streets, being gritty, learning, like, kind of, you can tell, like, I'm going to see what I can do against these bad guys.
Yeah.
You kind of feel that.
Like this is not an OP overpowered, Batman in his prime.
Yes.
He's still learning. He's taking some shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that. I like the realism of just like, this is like a kid essentially.
Right.
You know, and like also very different than like, you know, Carrie mentions The Dark Knight where, you know, you get Bruce Wayne immediately with like the League of Shadows. This is definitely not that storyline.
Right,
This
right.
is like Bruce Wayne. Like, what was his training?
Alfred,
know.
I think.
Alfred?
Alfred talks about training him at one
Yeah.
point, but like,
yes.
there's really there's no references to the League.
There's a lot of stuff like in the content, you know, comic books and stuff like that, where Alfred is like a badass,
Yes.
like British special forces,
And you see that in Gotham as well. They got the whole show Pennyworth.
yeah,
You know, a lot of different iterations showing like how he was more of a mentor than they've shown him in other movies.
yeah,
It seems like this movie may have been the one where he was. Andy Serkis.
yeah, great,
Which is great.
yeah.
So good.
I wanted more of Alfred.
Absolutely. I
He
thought
was very absent.
Yeah,
in the film.
not there until his big parts later in the film, you
Yeah.
know? So let's get into some of that with some of our villains. So we meet the Riddler very early on, and this is where we're getting the layout of this plan, where basically Gotham is as corrupt as you've ever seen it.
Yep.
It's like the worst it's ever been. This isn't any kind of Gotham's getting on the road to better. It's, no, everything's corrupt. Everybody pretty much knows it, and the Riddler is here to basically bring it out into the open.
Mhm.
Bring out the secrets of who's at first, like the mayor? Or
Yep.
like
the sitting mayor,
The
running
first-
for re-election.
which this is where you get the first kill, the tape, the Riddler leaving the clues for the Batman, and right away Batman's got something to deal with, and it's going to be ongoing. Many attacks from the Riddler, ongoing, and also in this movie we meet Catwoman, played by Selena Kyle, who is involved with
Carmine Falcone.
you know what I
Yeah.
almost said? Calzone.
Yum.
Calzone.
Yeah.
But she's got ties to them, and they end up hitting off right away. And like they don't mess around really. It's like, hey, Batman finds out that she's Catwoman, kind of just by like seeing her change into her outfit, and then like from then on out, it's like, hey, we're gonna team up a little bit on this and see if
Right.
we can help each other out.
I enjoyed that dynamic for the whole movie. I didn't expect to, but I liked it a lot.
Which dynamic?
Just back like between Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah,
The
seemed like
Batcat.
they got on the same page pretty quickly. And not a lot of backstory about Batman. This is definitely like just dropping you in. Is there any hints to the origin story at all, like with his parents?
I think they run through that later in the movie, where there is some questions on how his parents died. You know, was it so and so set up a murder, or was it random? But I think it does it justice to not dive into that again.
Yes.
Like we can only see Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot in an alleyway so many times, just like in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, Uncle Ben.
You know,
over and
Uncle
over.
Ben over and over and over. We don't need it.
Well, and what they do in this one, let's kind of like skip through some of the storytelling. The Riddler is kind of bringing up these truths about the Wayne family, about I forget what the big renewal program that Thomas Wayne founded, which was like, this is going to be the program that saves Gotham. We're going to open up the school for the young boys. They brought the orphanage boys.
$1 billion.
Yes, and it's going to change everything. Turns out this money immediately was being used by the mobsters in town. And we also get some like dirt on Thomas Wayne,
right?
That like he's not like this idealist guy that like is wholesome and true. That he also has a little bit of a dark past. He found some guy that was going to out him and put him in the bad spotlight. He ended up
a reporter of some kind.
A reporter,
yeah,
that's what it was, and decides he needs a little help from Falcone to deal with this. And how do you think that's going to happen? But he's going to kill the guy.
Right. Well, I just wanted him to get roughed up or something like that.
Well, and then,
you know, there was a couple of sides to the story. You don't really know what to believe.
Yeah, everybody's kind of telling their own tale. Yeah. And then there's tales about Martha Wayne being in Arkham Asylum.
I think it was her mother.
It was her mom?
I think so.
No, it was Martha Wayne.
I think both. I think the mother was a murder, like, it was a murder-suicide. But I think Martha might have been in Arkham too, possibly.
Like there were photos of her like there also like for bouts of time, and that she dealt with this. And I was like, this is I mean, I've never heard of this before in other movies, but like in terms of comic book, have you read a lot of Batman comics?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Have they gone down some of these weird routes with Martha and Thomas Wayne?
Not that I recall.
Yeah. Like that was like a big choice
Yeah.
for the film.
That's fine. New fresh take.
You were okay with it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, just do what you want.
yeah. Please.
Yeah, you're making the movie. Like, let's just see, like, go with whatever you.
Yeah.
I guess get into like, Batman is such a well-known character, and you've seen so many of these things played out to where you almost have you're like, what are they allowed to do? What are they not allowed to do? At the end of the day, whoever's making the movie, I guess, makes the calls.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Penguin.
Oh, fantastic.
What do you think about Colin Farrell?
Oh, unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think perfect.
Carrie?
I'm gonna be honest. I heard Colin Farrell was in this movie, and it took me a long time to be like, "Oh, oh, that's him."
That's the one.
I was like watching, and it really did take me a while. They did a great job with his look.
Mm-hmm.
Good Penguin.
So we got all these different dynamics going on. The Penguin is reporting basically into Falcone. They're working together, and the Riddler is beginning to end of this movie. Like, he is the villain. Can we all agree? Like, you got some other side
for sure.
stories with Batman trying to help out Selina, who's trying to find her friend that kind of caught up in the mix of Falcone. Selina's mom also, like, we find out Falcone is actually Selina Kyle's dad.
Yeah.
And she's got like this big revenge path of like, not only did you lose my friend, but you're my dad. And we get a little backstory there. Other than that, though, it's just the Riddler playing game after game after game. Let's just talk about the next big time I think we see him is whenever he convinces one of the guys that's in office. He was the one that was like at the club when Selina Kyle goes in undercover. She has the contact lens in her eye, right? We get this great scene. And this guy that's kind of on the inside scoop that knows a little bit.
A DA assistant or something.
The
like
DA,
that.
that's what it was. The Riddler gets him to drive his car like into City Hall.
It was the
Funeral
funeral
of
of
the mayor.
the last person that he killed.
Yeah.
But like downtown City Hall, like
Yeah.
main building.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funeral that he was in. Straps a bomb to him and gets the Batman, like is confronting the Batman directly, leaving him letters everywhere you go. I mean, he can't
to the Batman.
to the Batman. This is like the big thing.
Along with the what are the coding things called? Like the
Ciphers.
ciphers. Yes.
Oh man.
Man.
And Alfred had to get involved and help
Yeah.
cipher this stuff. What'd you think of that?
That I mean, it just kind of shows that you're right. Batman's not fully there himself. Needs a little push.
Oh yeah,
little
he
help
still
for
needs
now.
help. He's still
definitely
learning.
Just
He's
finding
definitely
himself.
not the world's greatest detective yet.
No, not yet. Him
Yeah.
and Jim Gordon questioning the Penguin after the intense, amazing car chase scene.
Good cop, bad cop.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. And then he's like, can you guys even speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you guys know the difference between L and La? And
Yeah,
like, they're
you
just
guys are
Batman
idiots.
and Jim Gordon just being like,
Oops. Oops. It's just like that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, we messed that up.
yeah, he's like, he's got his arms crossed. Like, I don't know.
It's a Bat mystery.
He's like, all I did was ramp that giant ramp in the middle of the highway.
What a great chase scene.
I need that Batmobile. Whatever money that I need to have that car, just take it.
It's
I don't
like
care.
Cool
American muscle.
It was just dirty.
The jetpack, like on the back, like
Yeah,
I don't know what
man.
you call it, just a jet engine. All right, so moving through, like I mean, I feel like when do they? Oh, well, then the big attack, the next big thing from the Riddler, Batman figures out that this isn't so random. This is getting kind of personal. There's call out to is about his parents. He's finding out more about the orphanage, about the dirty money, and then he finds out that this bad guy's got to go after somebody I know,
Yeah.
and goes after Alfred.
No. Goes after Batman.
Goes after Batman.
Or goes after Bruce Wayne.
Oh, goes after Bruce Wayne.
The sins of the father
Mhm.
Yes,
will
and,
be visited upon the son.
and it was meant for Bruce Wayne,
Right.
but because Bruce Wayne was out Batmaning, Alfred's at home.
Alfred's like, oh,
I have
I'll
to
just-
get the mail.
yeah, laws don't matter.
And-
And Gotham City.
He gets
Yeah.
I'll open someone
my
else's
job.
mail.
and he gets the letter that says like to the Batman, and then there's the other envelope that was it. It was the fireproof envelope.
Yes. To
Pretty
the
good.
Batman.
I mean, it's the only
fireproof
way. It's the only way he
envelope.
knows he's going to
Like,
get it.
I wonder why this needs to be fireproof. Explosion.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was.
And he's
I thought he was gone.
He's
For a second, I was like,
racing home.
Did
Yes.
they just kill Alfred?
Racing home to get there,
Yes,
and finally gets a hold of the maid, and she was like, "Oh yeah, well that happened like 6 hours ago."
yeah, that was she was.
So you're
It's
a little
already
late.
happened.
We've
Yeah.
been trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah, what does his phone look like? Like every night when he's done, like every day,
Right.
He's like 75 missed calls.
Yeah, right. And
You-
also, let's talk about the technology in this thing too. This is like a mix of like tech you've never seen before. It's almost like 1950s spy equipment meets like 2020
Yeah.
spy equipment. Kind of like a mixture of
Yes.
both. Like it looks analog, it's kind of clunky, but then whenever like you see it on screen, it's like the most high tech thing you've ever seen. It's
Right.
doing measurements.
Like it's not even from this earth.
Yes,
Sort of.
very different from. I mean, not to play comparison game all the time, but like the Bale Batmans, which was just like top of the line, new age tech. This was like its own, almost like Tim Burton feeling style.
Yeah.
All right, we're like probably like halfway, a little bit more than halfway. What in the beginning half of the movie, Andy, are we missing that you got to talk about right now?
Not a lot. Honestly, you covered most of it. I mean, the car chase scene was just unreal.
Yep.
Like the scene when it's like upside down and you're watching him walk
Mhm.
towards the penguin is one of the most badass shots of the entire film.
Yeah.
Need that car for sure.
The music.
The music is just like that scene specifically just went real hard. But I've listened to that score like 3-4 times this week. And it's honestly it's like the same music like played over and over but just like remixed together, but like when you just listen to it full through, you can almost like feel like you're like kind of rewatching the movie because
Of
it
course.
just kind of brings you back to the scenes that you like recall most fondly from the movie, honestly. Like
I would listen to
there's so
Michael
many.
Giacchino, the Lost soundtrack, just like on my phone, and I would just be like, I'm on the island right
On
now.
the island. You have to
Yes,
go back.
yes.
Yeah, totally great. Scotty, anything we're missing in the first half you can think of that you want to get to before we move on to some bigger parts?
I don't think so. I think we surmised it pretty well.
Carrie?
I think you nailed it.
All right, let's move into the later half of the film, where I think it's good to keep it kind of focused on the characters, helps you kind of move through the story. All right, it's time to bring Falcone, the rat, into the light. This is the Riddler saying to the Batman, there's a rat in cahoots that's kind of like he's like there's a rat that you don't know about.
Right.
It
They
turns out
never name him.
they never name him. There's like a lot of theories about who it is. They think I think they think it's the Penguin for a minute.
Right.
I forget who else, and then it's like, okay, it's Falcone.
Mhm.
And it's very much quickly like a few parties trying to get to Falcone. Catwoman's trying to do her thing. Batman ends up getting a hold of him, bringing him into the light. What happens? He gets killed. Shot and killed.
Like literally brought him out of a building.
Yep.
Under a lamp.
Yep.
And boom.
Yeah,
Gone.
the Penguin is kind of already making his play.
And the Penguin's immediately like, you know what? You're out of here. I'm in. And this explains why we're getting a spinoff show of this guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, exactly. And I'm here for it.
Yeah,
That's a
HBO Max.
lot of like. It's got to take 3-4 hours to put that man
Like,
in his
are we-
makeup every day.
Are we
so-
getting like backstory Penguin? Are we getting current Penguin? Are we getting like a mix of the two?
I bet both.
Yeah.
I don't
Call
know.
me Oz. That's what he says. Call me Oz. How does the Riddler end up getting caught?
On purpose.
On purpose, yeah.
Somebody walk us through it.
Yes. So he said he was leading them there to the whole time under the light or whatever, and he just went right over to the coffee shop and
The diner, yeah.
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
He's just-
and he did,
yeah.
this is
this
his
is
plan
where
the
we
whole
get
time.
He
that's
left
where
left clues for his apartment, and they go to the apartment. And they find all this stuff. They find the journals.
Yep.
They find, what was the little rat tunnel that he put on that guy's face? Kind of
Oh, all the rat,
Almost like
all the
a-
rat contraptions.
something
Yep.
like out of Saw.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Mhm.
Like that was like how he did some of his torturing when he put people on
a
camera. It was
rat
like,
would ate that guy's face.
and the girl, Selena's friend.
yeah,
Like that was like what he did to her too. And yeah, so he gets caught on purpose. This is where you get the coffee mug with the question mark in it.
Mm.
Takes him into prison, and Batman decides, I'm gonna go
I gotta
talk.
go talk to this
Yeah,
guy.
because he says in the prison, he says, I told his last clue was see you in hell, and he said, I told you I'd see you in hell.
Mhm.
So
And he sees him, and what's he say? He goes, Bruce Wayne. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I called it. I was like, he doesn't know.
yeah.
He
Oh,
did.
really?
I knew.
He did.
I don't even know where I go. He
Yeah.
doesn't know. I go,
Yeah.
this is like that's a mislead.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, so thick. But for a minute, you're like, this guy
Yeah.
knows everything.
Yeah.
And you can see Pattinson under the cowl, even
Through the mask.
through the mask, like kind of going like, fuck.
yeah,
Like
oh,
this
shit.
is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because in the prior scene, he even said to Gordon, like, I think this whole Batman thing's coming to an end. He's like, I was like, oh, wow.
Oh man, so many good.
feeling it.
There's, you can say what you want about. I want to know what you guys think of this Jim Gordon. Carrie, what do you think of Jim Gordon in this one?
I thought he was pretty good. Jim Gordon from Gotham, I think will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
But this was a good one.
Yeah. What about you, Scotty?
Yeah, I thought he was great.
Andy?
Didn't watch
same.
Gotham.
I mean, I thought it was funny. He called Batman just man so much the whole movie.
Yeah.
He's
Come
like,
on, man.
He's like, I've known you for 2 years. You won't even tell me your name. Man. It was a great scene though, like in the precinct where all the cops are trying to get onto Batman. Jim Gordon's like, give us a minute. And I mean, hands down, my favorite scene in the movie. Like, not a question.
Yeah.
Just running from every cop, getting to the stairwell, looking up, shooting the grapple hook, just like making it out of reach.
Yeah.
Gets to the top, puts on a flying
squirrel
Bat
suit.
swirl.
Yeah, bat squirrel gets up the top, and his face is even kind of like, oh boy.
Oh boy. He was like, zip. I guess we're gonna try
I
it.
guess I'm gonna fly, and just like shooting down that POV shot, like right on the front and the bottom of his face, and then just kind of like rough landing onto the bridge.
You get the Tobey Maguire fail where he's like, bam, pow, like smashing through the alley and like, landing hard, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, he kind of walks off. He's
Yeah.
like, God. Hands down the best. I love that. That felt so much like this is a 2-year Batman.
Yeah.
This is like it was like pretty good, but not
Just
like
trying
really
it out.
great. But man, in that talk with the Riddler, comes to find out in the prison, he doesn't know.
And he's so delusional, he thinks he's basically partners with Batman.
He's like, we
Us.
did it.
Yeah.
Us.
I sent you all those notes. You followed all my directions
You brought him right into the light.
perfectly.
Right into the light.
Yeah. Thanks. We did it, partner.
He's like, Batman's like, oh no, I was like part of the bad guy team.
Yeah. And this is like
I think-
2-year Batman.
Yeah.
I think he
Fooled.
knows.
Yes.
Yeah, fooled. Exactly.
Fooled.
Yeah.
I think he still knows. He's just misleading him right now.
You think so?
Yeah, it's the Riddler. He's smart.
Yeah, that's what I
He
was
knows.
thinking. I was like, how did you not put all this together? And he's
I
like,
think he knows.
because he's like talking about Bruce Wayne, and he's like, Bruce Wayne up in his tower. That's not an orphan.
Yeah.
Like that's not an orphan. Like and I'm
yeah,
like,
he went hard on
He
him.
went hard on that as if he was like, he's like, but I guess I'll kill him later. And what was the plan? Well, if you don't remember, Gotham is like pretty much Manhattan, and it's just like an island. And he's kind of pulled some moves out of like the Dark Knight Rises and put like cement like bombs like in vans all around town, sets them all at the same time, and floods the city.
Yep. Blows up the seawall.
Blows up the seawall. I mean, this thing, it was crazy looking.
Yeah.
You think that was like CGI? You think that's like they have like streets that they did that, or what do you think that was like a little
They had
set
to-
like on the size of this table? They were just like a glass of water.
I think I read they did a lot of practical stuff in this movie.
Yeah, I think that was like part of it.
Yeah.
I also remember Robert Pattinson complaining he was in the bat suit too much, which like after watching the movie, yeah, I bet because he's in it most of the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but not a complaint that you have when,
You're Batman.
Yeah.
We made fun of him on the pod
what'd
during
you
that.
think?
Like you're gonna complain about wearing this suit. Well, it's on, right? It's like, okay, the city's flooding, Riddler's in jail, but Batman's got to go solve this thing. He gets back to a rally downtown where like it's business as usual for everyone there. It's just like, I forget what they're celebrating or what they're
It's
doing.
the mayor, the new mayor.
It's the new mayor, and she's the one that's like,
apparently she won the election against the guy who was murdered a few weeks ago.
yeah.
Congrats.
A landslide.
Yeah. And she's like the one that's like gung ho, like we got to talk about this. We got to get out in the open. They like after the flooding starts, like the Commissioner's Gordon's like got her back behind stage, and they're all just kind of like they're in panic mode. I
Yeah.
mean, this thing looked amazing, right? Like they're inside that giant arena.
Dome, yeah, some sort.
People are just getting mowed by water and stage equipment and walls and cars. Like that looked really good. And then it's basically Batman versus all of Riddler's following.
Yeah, he had like his own YouTube channel or some sort of
Yeah.
conspiracy network.
He had 500 followers.
Yeah.
I was like, I get
And they're all like, what do you want us to do?
And
What kind of guns do we need?
Well, then I just got to thinking, I was like, what can we get our people to do?
Right.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
my-
Hey guys, meet at Like, I mean,
Everyone bring a goldfish.
they're at the precinct and they're like, yeah, he's got like 500 followers, and they show it, and like even the way they showed like social media was like that old school like circle screens, like a little dial on the side, looked like a Batman video game or something. Pretty cool. And Batman's gonna have to take on all these guys that look just like the Riddler. They come in with guns.
Rifles are good.
Yeah, rifles are good.
That was one of the comments in the chat.
You can get
Rifles
these
are good.
masks. You can pick up these
honestly,
masks at the supply store.
Yeah, there was
Don't,
instructions.
The Army
don't forget
surplus
your
store.
something
Yeah.
something liner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the type of comments that you would see for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
For 'em.
Yeah.
It was so too real. It was too
Yeah.
realistic. This whole entire thing. I was just like,
Of people just getting like,
stop.
yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like remind me of like the Capitol.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's a little too real.
Yeah, too real. Just got too real.
All right, so Batman's doing his thing. He's doing okay, but like definitely still a new Batman.
Oh yeah.
Like fights off most of the guys, but then like they start getting the best of him. He's hanging from like the middle chandelier, or like
It's like the jumbotron.
It's like a jumbotron
yeah, on a
screen.
hockey arena.
so cool.
And who has to come in and kind of save the day? But Catwoman
Yeah.
comes in, helps him out, gets him down. There's a little back and forth, and the guy ends up knocking her out. Batman's on his back, and the guy's like on top of Catwoman, like gonna kill her.
Oh yeah, she was gonna die.
And Batman's like effed up at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's been through the ringer. They're finally showing us. Like I'll tell you this: he did a lot of major bad falls in this movie, and like always bounce back.
Yep.
This was the time where he was like, I don't think I can bounce back.
Oh, he took the like shotgun blast to the chest.
yeah, just got shot point blank. And what's he do?
It breaks out his little. Got to go to the bat belt.
The Bane juice.
I mean,
And he
it's like
hits
it's
himself
definitely
with
some version of adrenaline, but
Yeah.
it looked like
bat adrenaline.
It looked like green Bane juice, like from Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Per, I was watching a breakdown by Emergency Awesome, and they said in variations of the comics, there are parts in the comics where Batman has that before Bane does. So could be
Like Bane gets it from Batman.
Yeah, something along those lines. I never looked into it. I don't have any DC comic book apps, but I might have to add that to my collection.
Well, he shoves it into his leg and he goes full Bane and just like has all the energy, gets up and like is gonna punch this guy's face off.
Raging.
James Gordon stops him. It's all good. And now it's like him, the police, Selena Kyle, they're all kind of looking down now. It's like finally the first moment they have to like not be fighting, and the people are drowning. You know, people are underwater. They need help. And you're not really sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But Batman kind of looks and goes, all right.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And he jumps and he grabs onto the electrical cable and he cuts it and he falls down into the water. And you think, I thought he was going to like vanish.
Right. Like, okay, well, he just saved them from not getting electrocuted, and now it's time for him to make
And
his exit.
But instead, he just stands up, shallow water.
Yeah.
And he has a
flare.
Yeah.
Bat flare.
And he lights it up and he walks to the people and he just starts helping people out. And he does this apparently like all night to where like now you get Batman in the daylight now, finally, in the suit, helping the people. The sun's out. It's a new Gotham. Gotham is completely underwater now.
Yeah.
Like they're like meeting on top of buildings at this point. And we get a little Selena Kyle, Batman, Catwoman action of them talking about what they're going to do next. They kiss. Catwoman's like, I'm going to go to, you guys remember the town? Bloodhaven, which that's like a nod to like Nightwing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm getting out of here. She's like, why? Like, we should definitely both leave. And like, while he's like, they're talking, like he's just kind of like gazing out at the city a little bit more, catches the bat signal, and she's like, you've already made up your mind because like this is 2-year Batman. He's like, I got at least 18 more years of this.
Yes.
Anything else in the big ending? Like we can do some other recaps of any other characters. Like anything happened with the Penguin? I think it's like they show him. They're like,
he's just plotting
he's plotting
his show.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do in this?
Got a new gang.
We'll end with Batman because I think it's the last thing we see. Riddler is in prison. His plan fails.
Nice little prison mate right next to him.
Got somebody. And he's like, hey, I'll be your friend, basically. And they just
Has
start
a nice, cool laugh, maybe that might haunt my dreams someday.
Maniacal laugh.
I bet you were terrified.
No.
I mean, is that
now I am.
Is it the Joker?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for
sure, right?
Yeah.
Did we know the actor?
It's the guy from Eternals.
Barry
Keegan.
Keego.
Kilgan.
I don't know.
Oh wow.
He was
Oh.
the mind control guy.
Yeah.
Druid?
Yes,
or
Druid.
something?
Druid, yeah.
This got,
Nice
yeah.
job.
Nice.
Good job,
This
Gary.
was
believe I did that.
spoiled like months and months ago, and I really wish it wouldn't have been.
You got
For me,
oh,
I
it was
really?
spoiled
I
for
didn't-
you?
Yeah.
On
So, I
what?
mean, that really didn't mean a lot to me.
Really?
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it was. Supposedly there is a deleted scene of that was like a little bit more information.
Yes. Yep. I heard about that.
So we'll see where that goes. But
The new mayor's still there. She's gonna run this place. You still got some crime. Batman's gonna stick around, and then you get Batman and Selena Kyle essentially like riding out of Gotham together on motorcycles. Selena heads to wherever, and Batman turns and heads back into Gotham. And I think the credits roll.
Yeah,
And then there was an end credit scene, which were like some Riddler codes.
like website or something, right?
Yeah.
Anything else in terms of the story that we missed?
hit it. Well, see you guys next week.
All right. Lots of fan mail to feature. I want to get to it, but first we got to do some roundtables, final thoughts, and some ratings. Giggler, Batman guy, you saw it twice. Talk to us about anything we missed. Look at your notes, favorite parts that we didn't call, and give us a rating.
Now I need my notes. So this is the Batman movie that I never knew that I needed, but it was just so good. I mean, it reminded me of a lot of like the Arkham games, a lot, that vibe. So that
Get some Riddler
helps.
trophies.
Yeah. Minus that part. Yeah. That's that was part of the game I ignored for sure.
Oh,
as
man.
most people did.
But the vibe, the suit, the tall ears.
Yeah. It's just he's up there on my favorite Batman. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
But I think just kind of going forward, like the next movie is so really excited. I'm so excited for it because I think we're gonna see a lot more Bruce, a lot more Playboy Bruce, a lot, kind of like the Bale version maybe a little bit. He's gonna kind of lean on that to make the city a better place rather than the Batman. Maybe try to find a happy medium or something like that. But
Mhm.
I think who knows? We could see this spin-off Arkham show that might be happening. I'd be down for that too.
All right. You're into the universe. So
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah.
got at least a couple more movies I think they've confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Are we doing full ratings too right now?
If you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
I mean, we're not done talking about this, so don't worry.
Yeah. I got a 3.7.
Woo! I'll give it up for
Wow.
that.
Hot.
Wow.
I love Batman.
You do love Batman. Oh, I'm glad you loved it. Don't worry, we're not done yet. Carrie, anything from the movie that you want to highlight that we didn't talk about in your rating as well?
I don't know. I guess I always come out of these movies with like a lot of questions of like, well, what was that? Why is that? And it's good to have like the comic like background to like gut check things with like a little bit. I felt like a lot of the Catwoman stuff was a little disconnected for me. And they like started talking about like she was helping her friend and then it became about her dad and like that just got a little messy for me. Like what is she even doing here? Because in other stuff, Catwoman is usually pretty selfish and looking out for herself but then she's the one that always saves Batman. We've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I was just a little let down, I think. Like I really wanted them to be like the best Bat and Cat.
Mhm.
And
Dynamic
it just
duo.
felt a little forced for me, I think. And I feel like I don't know. Overall, very good. Still an awesome Batman movie and a lot better than a lot of other movies. But I think I would have liked a few more things.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a rating.
3.2.
Nice.
That's what I gave the UFO show though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, fair.
You felt the same.
3.3.
Okay, you'll knock it up one.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit more over UFO.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Batman.
I'm
It's
definitely
Batman.
watching
Vengeance.
UFO
Now you got to see it.
now.
All right, Scotty Scoop, you're up.
I enjoyed the movie. Like Carrie, I felt like the like when Catwoman and Batman kissed, I felt that like it was really unearned.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, how did they get here? You know, that didn't feel organic.
Yeah.
To me. I think everyone was perfectly cast. I enjoyed all the performances. I think the like one scene in particular I remember where I think it was towards the end where he was fighting all the Riddler's guys and they were in that dark hallway.
Mm.
And you had the what I read was practical, real muzzle flash is how they filmed that.
Mm.
And it looked incredible. where he's taking the shots.
And every time he gets like it lights up, like you only
And
see
you can
him for
see
a
him
minute.
like, yeah, just kind of bam, pow,
So
boom.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was great. I enjoyed the story. I still don't think it's as good as The Dark Knight.
Never.
I'm gonna go with a 3.2.
Solid. I'll give it
Yeah.
up for you and Carrie. Good scores. Well, this is one where we should have let Andy go last because Andy liked it the most. But I had a great time. Just get right into it. It looked amazing. Probably my favorite suit. I think, like I keep saying probably. This is my favorite bat suit. Like, no doubt. Like, from top to bottom, like, this is what I always wanted. I didn't even realize it. And Robert looks amazing in it. Like, he is Batman when this suit is on.
Great job.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Riddler, man, ultimate villain, like all the pieces of a villain that you want, like creepy, but smart, but like also really good at being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like just messing the whole city up one turn after the other. Thought it was a great Catwoman. I thought the Penguin was okay. I don't think I'm going crazy over it like everybody else. I think Jim Gordon was just okay. And really what I get at here is I could not help the feeling. I could not shake it as much as I go into these things level-headed. It felt a little Hollywood to me, which this is Warner Brothers. And when I say Hollywood, what I mean is big budgets. It will look great. It will sound great. But there was just something about the writing and maybe the actors and maybe a combination of each to where a little bit of it just felt a little cheesy to me. And I'm a Batman fan. Like, I understand cheesiness. This Gotham City, they went all in on like that style Gotham. And I almost respect it, because what they're saying is this is the universe that you live in. This is Matt Reeves, Batman. This is dark Gotham. The Gotham that you've pictured since Batman 89. Like, it's like that Gotham, but like made today and done really well. Like with the technology, they kind of took like what Keaton had in his car and made it like in a part of Pattinson's Batcave. So I really love the tech and the fun stuff. I mean, any spinoffs that come from this, I'll be excited to see. I'm not hating on the movie at all, but I'm definitely not one of these people coming out saying it is the best Batman by any means. For comparative purposes, we watched The Dark Knight after we watched this movie, and we watched Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. I mean, those are three of the best movies like I've ever seen. Like, they are such top tier, and like everything they bring, just one scene to the next, I'm so in. I just didn't feel exactly the same on this one. Had a lot of fun. Love the Batman. I'll give it overall a 3.2.
Fair. Nice.
Because we agreed.
Good job.
Kind of what I figured. And like your rating makes sense too as well. And like we said, we have a lot of other folks to feature as well. Starting with, we've all talked about how we feel about it. We got a fan voicemail. He's been here on the show before, called in about the Eternals. Let's hear now from Cecil.
Hey guys, this is Cecil. I'm calling this time about the Riddler. I thought that the character was cool. I thought that it was a great reinterpretation of the Riddler. He wasn't goofy. There was no neon. There were no, Riddler trophies to run around Gotham and find. That was great. That they took the character a whole lot more seriously. So the Riddler could have been replaced with the Joker. This was just kind of like Joker as an incel to me. Like the whole thing with bombing the seawall and, all of that, it just kind of seemed like a very Jokerish kind of thing to do. Commissioner Gordon, Jeffrey Wright was phenomenal. He was really, really good. James Gordon, he really struck the perfect tone. The New York accent was a little goofy, but everyone's New York accent in this movie was a little goofy. And I guess it was kind of an homage to the Schumacher movies without intending to be an homage to those movies. It also brings me to like the setting of Gotham. Gotham was dark and dirty and gritty and unhappy, and I'm really tired of seeing that. Not that I wanted to be, bright and vibrant or anything like that, but at some point in this 3-hour movie, a little brightness would have been nice. If for nothing else than to bring some sort of contrast at some small point to punctuate something tonally. I just would have really appreciated something different. I was glad that I did not see the same origin story played out over and over again, but I was disappointed in that they really just kind of did it with that kid, the mayor's kid. I wanted to also kind of talk about the length of the movie. It was too long. It was about 25, 30 minutes too long. My biggest complaint about this movie that I thought was pretty good, my biggest complaint about this movie is that why are Catwoman and Batman kissing? Like, it was so unearned. It was just weird, and I just don't understand why it was there, and it was just strange and unnecessary. And I know, the comics, they have this thing or whatever, and the media that I've seen, they have a thing, and they play against each other, whatever. But in a 3-hour movie, you couldn't give me a reason for them to have romantic feelings toward each other. I just didn't get that. So I guess out of 4, I'll give it 3.1. Okay, guys. Thanks. Bye.
So close. Cecil.
Nice.
Love you, buddy.
Well said.
Yeah, that was nice.
You nailed it. Yeah, Scotty, that's your boy.
Yeah.
How'd he do?
Did great.
Had some really great points.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
was right there with us, I think.
he kind of fell in line there. And man, I gotta double down on that. Like, yeah, we get it. Hollywood, like Vanity Fair, Hollywood Reporter, Vogue. Like, there's anywhere out there where Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz aren't like posing. Like,
Yeah.
they were
Right.
like, we're gonna
Yeah.
make you the biggest
Yeah.
superhero couple.
Like, I understand they had to ship these two,
right.
Mhm.
And it's like, kiss me.
yeah, sprinkle some sort of romantic seasoning on the movie, but it just didn't feel earned.
Well, from the 3.7, what did you think of the kiss? Giggler.
This is a good point. I didn't really think about that till now, and I see it now. Yeah, it is kind of forced, and it is like right. What they're the settings that they're hanging out in. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
the only thing that could be is just dude was straight watching her change, and he probably just got all horny.
Right.
Well, and
But-
also, there's probably a level of like,
What?
hey,
Am I
listen.
wrong?
Well, and also,
He's-
like, yeah. I
It was
know.
creepy that he was just straight up watching her
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, I know, because it was almost like they were making you feel like, I'm going to know that she's Catwoman. But, like, to him, there is no Catwoman yet.
She
Yeah.
literally didn't exist in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, I'm just going
We
to watch
don't
her
know
change.
if she was like a thing before. He'd be like, "Oh, I heard about these cat burglaries, and there was a lady dressed as a cat."
Well,
Cat
and,
burglaries.
Cat burglaries.
and also, Batman's in the hospital talking to Alfred about like, this is the first time I have had like any feeling for like another human since like my parents died, and like
Yeah.
I guess I do love you. Like I do feel that I care about another person. Like, we got that. Like, okay, he's awakened. He has feelings. He's gonna start doing whatever. But like,
Bless you.
bless
Bless
you.
you.
But yeah, like, so like, how could you fall in love with like Catwoman under these extreme circumstances
Well-
when you just awokened to have a feeling for another human
Right.
You
that's
could
been in your
argue-
life for your
And I was gonna say, you could argue they didn't really say they loved each other, but there was like maybe just like, hey, listen, I'm in this suit, you're in your own suit.
Right.
You want to kiss? Like, we're up on this rooftop in these suits. Are we really not going to kiss right now?
Like, I really think that they could have stretched that out over 3
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
And the kiss would have been a really good payoff.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of the second movie,
Yeah.
and maybe they part ways at the end of a trilogy.
Yeah.
It really feels like they could have played more.
like Twilight.
I'm not going to say I've seen those.
I know, but I'm saying like, you want to talk about like a payoff of a kiss.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much I felt. I'm not Batman at the end of this movie. I was like, I would definitely leave with Catwoman.
Yeah.
Like, the city is underwater. I'd be like, this is too much. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what I was thinking.
This city's done. It just
Yeah,
got
why would
washed.
you
It's
stay?
clean now.
No, he needs
Yeah.
to be the hope.
He's like, maybe he'll get a bat boat. All right, let's hear from some other people out there. Brandon R. He's Brogalski on Instagram. He writes in the show. He's a good friend of ours here in St. Louis. He said, I didn't think it was tied for the best Batman like everyone else, but I thought it was really good. More of a suspenseful thriller with action peppered in. Great storyline, though. I think the casting could have been a lot better. Jason S., this is name user 61 on Instagram. He said, the movie was fantastic. It had me guessing and guessing with every riddle and every mystery, not to mention the suspense I felt in each scene. 9 out of 10, which converts on our scale to a 3.6.
Nice, nice.
Solid score. And very quickly, let's just get into this discussion right now. We have to talk about the best Batman. So many Batman iterations over the years. Animated, live action, comic book, I don't care. You guys talk about it. Let's get into some other people online. I am Jacob Black on Instagram. That's our boy Jedi Jake. He said, I feel like Pattinson was by far the best live action Batman. Not enough time as Bruce Wayne for me to say there, but when the cowl was on, I felt like he understood the character better than others. What do you think about that, Giggler?
I like that. I don't know if I don't know. I'm not going to put him as best yet. It's
okay.
too early to tell. I can't say that over Bale yet.
No worries. And we got some lists here. Let's hear from some people on Facebook. We told you guys to get some special shout outs today. Matthew Lee S. Here's his list. Pattinson, number 1. Bale, Keaton, Affleck, West, Kilmer, Clooney. Chad T comes in. Pattinson, again, best. Keaton, Affleck, Bale, Kilmer, Clooney. Sam A, also from Facebook. Keaton, Bale, Pattinson. And then I thought it'd be fun. Andy, I'm going to share ours on the screen. We're going to get a conversation going here with Carrie and Scotty. Mine, I put Bale at the top. Keaton, Conroy, Affleck, West, Will Arnett, Clooney, Kilmer, and then Mazouz from Gotham the show. Giggler, of course. Your number 1's Keaton?
My number 1 was Bale.
Did I mess up?
Yep.
Oh, so I didn't even.
I'm fighting it right now.
Man.
No, I'm glad you said that. So
I might have. That might have been the slide issue. That might have messed that one up.
Carrie did the editing afterwards.
It's okay.
So it's all right. So number 1 for you is Bale.
I'm pulling it. I'll give you the rankings because I don't even remember
while you're
what
looking. That's all right.
What they were off the top of my head right
now. That's okay. Look it up. And then Jedi Jake gave us his list as well. Pattinson number 1, Bale number 2, Keaton number 3, Affleck, Kilmer, West, Clooney. Man, I cannot believe how quickly this Pattinson is making it to the tops of these people's lists.
He's not in your list. Where did you put him?
Oh, it's on the first. Okay, Bale, Keaton, Pattinson, Affleck, Kilmer, Clooney.
Yeah, well,
you're missing Pattinson.
Yep. All right, Pattinson for me. So I actually put Pattinson under Kevin Conroy. So I went Bale, Keaton, Conroy, Pattinson. And, like, honestly, that Conroy, like, here's the thing about my list. It is true. So, like, and I don't mean true as in better or more truer than anyone else's. I'm saying it's true to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these are the Batmans that I know.
Yeah, everyone's got their Batmans.
Exactly. So, like, let's just get it out of the way. So, I'd probably put Pattinson at, like, number 3, realistically. Maybe number 4. I agree with Jake. Didn't see near enough Bruce Wayne. Carrie, let's start with you. Let's just do with your top 3.
My top 3 would be Christian Bale is number 1. I don't know if anyone could be number 2. I think tied for number 3 could be Pattinson, Keaton, Affleck. And that's where I'll end.
Okay. I like it. Scotty.
Kevin Conroy is my Batman.
I mean, I understand that.
I just, so many memories of me coming home, little 12-year-old Scotty Scoop, coming home from school, flipping on Channel 11, Batman the Animated Series.
So great.
Darkwing Duck, Tailspin.
Every song's going, Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous.
Yes.
All right. Number 2?
Yeah, Keaton. And Pattinson I thought was fantastic. Far down my list is Christian Bale. Man, I could not stand his Batman.
You just can't get past it.
I just can't get past
Is
his
it the voice?
voice.
That's it. What about the suit?
I didn't really enjoy the suit.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, I really think Affleck's suit is probably the best bat suit.
That's my number 2.
You know, and I think just the ability for Batman to turn his head, I think, is paramount. And I think Ben Affleck might be the only one who could do it.
All right, we're going to go to the biggest Batman fan in the room. Giggler, give us your real list.
My real list. Okay. I got you.
I thought that's what you were looking up.
Yeah, I got it. I've just got to scroll through. There's a lot of comments.
So you didn't
here.
have it?
No. Bale, Keaton, Pattinson, Affleck, Kilmer, Clooney.
Bale, Keaton, Pattinson.
Yeah, I need more time for Pattinson. I also said sorry, I forgot I had a whole nother paragraph on here, but I left off the voice animation TV ones. It was too. I needed to make a quick list, and that was too much thought. So, but I think Battinson will be top 3 eventually, maybe top 1.
Like by the time they
By
go
the
through
time
the
they finish this,
storytelling,
I
you're like,
think-
this guy might be the top
Like I said,
one.
I'm really excited for what this next movie has with him as more Bruce. I think we're going to see more.
Well, they had a lot of Alfred preaching.
Yeah.
You've got to embrace your family name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he, as newly minted Batman, was really deep diving into being Batman.
Yeah.
And he's going to be able to have more of an effect as Bruce Wayne on changing the city than as Batman, or equally. Probably
Right,
more.
right. He's going to try.
But
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
What's the worst Batman movie you've ever seen?
The worst one?
Scotty Carey.
It's
same
got to be.
question to you
It's got to
guys.
be Clooney. I think.
Oh, Clooney for
I
sure.
think
The credit card.
I turned
Yeah,
it on.
oh, yeah.
I turned it on one day, and it's just like it's like you said, cheesy. This one, like that, is
Oh,
like
yeah.
just an entire brick of
Just over
smelly
the
cheese.
top, jump the shark. Terrible.
Every line is like a zinger, like a punch.
Arnold
like a-
Schwarzenegger,
Uma Thurman.
and Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
You boys don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But-
so bat nipples.
Bat nipples.
I
I mean Gotham City, like the ramping on the side,
Yeah.
like the ice gun.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this was definitely this was the best job. I mean, it's good to have the comparisons in your head because this Gotham was like the best. I mean, this is probably what the top 2 Gothams I've ever seen.
Oh, it was fantastic.
And I mean, number 1, I really like The Dark Knight because it's just so grounded and like you still get that like eerie Gotham a little bit, but it's definitely more like, kind of like 2010 New York City,
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
This one feels very real, and like I'm kind of in, like I mentioned the games earlier. Like
Yeah.
it kind of feels like I'm in those. Like it seems to always be raining in the
yeah,
game
very,
too.
very dank,
Yes,
dark, gloomy.
Yeah.
just run down, like
Yeah.
beaten up. But it's perfect.
All right, guys, last call. Any final Batman thoughts before we move in to coming up?
Has anyone seen like the viral marketing thing that's happening now with like the end of the movie and the ratallatawebsite.com?
I went to it.
Ratalata.com?
I was
Did you
on
do
there
the
for
riddles?
a while.
Did
yeah,
you do the riddles?
I tried.
So yeah, I guess you can do these riddles. I had to Google the answers for some of them. Cheated.
I
Carrie said
I
they were
wouldn't-
really hard.
I wouldn't do it because I was like, that's cheating.
Yeah, but I needed to know what was at the other end.
All right, well,
And-
keep going because
and
I
then
have
there's like
so what is it?
It's a video about like Thomas Wayne, and it brings up like the Hush thing, which is kind of a potential
Oh yeah.
like I don't know, just Easter egg for a future villain,
Wow.
possibly.
Like outside the
We gotta-
movie content.
Yeah, and it's not done yet. Evidently, it's like been loading up to a certain percentage and like counting down to something, and we don't know what it is.
Okay, and did you click on the thing that was like click and you clicked a picture with the code on it?
Yeah.
Did you get to
I don't
that
think
far?
I got that yet.
All right, well now I'm at a point where it does the loading thing, and at some point there was like a link that I clicked, and it was just a picture with like Riddler like symbols.
Okay.
And
It's a new cipher, maybe they never have to
Okay,
figure out other
but
stuff. Oh my god.
some of the text highlighted like, would you like to look this up? And I was on Google Translator. Like, what is this?
Oh my gosh.
I was like, is this? And I was like trying different languages to see if
Detective
it would
Carey
be like.
over here.
God.
Detective
I didn't-
Carey.
And we
Carrie's
had,
got her cipher out.
I was trying. I was gonna.
She told me, she goes, these riddles are hard, and like she's pretty bright. Like, I mean, I was like, you're not getting these?
Yeah, and I wouldn't Google them.
Oh, I did.
Well, that's Andy.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
needed to know what comes next.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not just gonna
So,
not
it's-
know these.
It's TBD right now. We still don't know what's coming up. Who knows? Could be
It's
another
great. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I
could be
guess
like
so.
a good
another
viral
scene to the
marketing.
movie, and like
Mhm.
an actual post-credit scene. Maybe that
That may have been why it was at the end, type
Very
of thing.
cool,
Oh, well,
yeah.
let's just do this for the fans too. Like, I don't know, I didn't write this part down, which I would have, but there are 2 more movies, right? Didn't Matt Reeves say this is a trilogy?
I don't
I-
recall that,
I've
but I'll
keep
take your
hearing
word.
people refer to that.
I believe
and
I read that
assume-
today, that these are set out to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Good.
They also have at least the Colin Farrell Penguin show. Other shows, you said, maybe?
An Arkham show.
Yeah, the Gotham PD was the original one, and that has been backtracked to a Arkham, like Matt Reeves described it like a haunted house like horror show. So I'm in for that.
I'm in for
that
sure.
could
Sounds
be Joker Riddler type thing. or maybe like a prequel
Yeah,
about because
there's so
the Arkham
many
family. I never
residents of
thought
Arkham, and
I never thought about the
Yeah.
Arkham family.
That was a big part of the
it's a
story,
big
right?
thing.
The
They go
Waynes and the
back.
Arkhams.
Yeah.
they go back.
All right, guys, the Batman. We did it. We saw it. I mean, you gonna go see it again?
I mean, I'm gonna just tell you guys that I think I enjoyed it so much more after the first one. Like remember what I said
Yeah.
after the first time we watched it? I was like, wow, I was expecting like to be like Dark Knight level right now, but I'm like, it's definitely not there. I mean, it still isn't to me. I would definitely put Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises above this. I think this movie's above Batman Begins to me, but I still
that's fair.
enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
not,
like-
I'm not putting this at the top of my Batman list on any means right now.
Not
but
quite yet.
I still loved it. Like it's everything from the music to the just over like just the detective story was exactly what I needed just based off me playing those games twice in my life
Yeah.
for the past 10 years.
I will say, as we do, I talk through it and I find myself liking it more as we talk about it. And I do find myself thinking like, this is kind of refreshing compared to everything crossing over and having like a bat flick that's just kind of popping in and out of these things. Like this was Gotham City that like I'd love to hang out in more. I guess like my only 2 cents would be like, condense the story a little bit, give us a little bit more like Batman being Batman with like less like dramatic shots of like Batman like walking slowly like all the time.
Yeah.
Like there was just a little bit of just like the music was great and it was very epic, but it almost felt like before like if this is truly like 2-year Batman, then like the epicness should be coming like a little bit later. It just
Yeah.
felt like we were jumping the gun of like celebrating this big thing and like he's falling down on his face.
Yeah.
Like let him get to know being Batman a little bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, I will say maybe I'll go get it in theater. Is this in IMAX?
Oh, yeah.
If you want to see IMAX, I'll go with you. I haven't seen it IMAX yet.
Well-
Maybe we
Oh.
should just do that. I think I could be down to go see this one more time in IMAX.
Yes, please.
Would you see it again?
Depends when.
Well,
You know,
assume
I mean-
assume you're free.
Maybe.
Okay,
Maybe.
Scotty,
3 hours.
It's 3 hours. I enjoyed the movie. I'd probably go see it again.
did you take your kids?
I took my 14-year-old.
And
She enjoyed it.
she was like, "That was good."
Yeah, she was. Yeah. I knew my other 2 wouldn't be able to sit through it.
Did she love it?
I'm not going to say she loved it,
Yeah.
but she did enjoy it.
Does she love you?
Oh, yeah, a lot, I hope.
I just gotta check. Sometimes
She went.
Aw.
She had the option to stay at home by herself, and she went to the movie.
That means she
Wow.
really loves you.
Yes.
Dad
Or
and
really
son.
loves Batman.
Yes. Or popcorn.
Yeah, right. Just getting out of the house.
Yeah.
All right, the Batman, man. That's it. Let's talk about what's coming up. Another banger in the books, man. That was really fun. Carrie, how'd it go?
I had a blast.
Did you like it?
It was fun.
Well, we got more stuff coming up for you that you might want to talk about. These are going to be some dark titles. You talk about dark movies coming up. We're going to be taking like a little bit of a hiatus, a couple weeks to get ourselves together, get ourselves prepped for some big titles coming up. You might see some bonus content coming out, but it's coming up. Episode 4, Morbius. It hasn't been pushed back, right? April 1st.
Until we show up to the theater and they're like,
I-
April Fools.
Yeah, April 1st. I don't know if I'm buying it 100%, but I'm still excited for the movie.
Or like
When it gets here.
when it gets here, can't wait. Jared Leto. I mean, we're calling it a Marvel film, but this could be an MCU film
This is-
the way things are going.
Sony Spider-Verse for sure,
Which,
but
Who's the spider?
we don't know what is happening. Maybe they've been putting it off for reshoots after the success of Spider-Man.
let's not forget that Venom. I mean, we're already talking about the Spider-Verse. Venom was in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes.
And this is definitely like the same area. We're going to find out exactly what we're dealing with here.
Venom gets a mention in the trailer.
Yep. Michael Keaton's in it.
You
Good
see
call.
Michael Keaton.
Vulture,
We
presumably.
think it's the Vulture.
Or he could just be like a security guard.
We see a poster of Spider-Man.
What's going to happen?
What is happening
Are we
with this
finally
movie?
going to get answers in like 3 weeks?
I don't know.
Man,
Are we going to see this like right away, like on a Thursday? This going to be like a maybe wait till a Saturday. Whatever,
I'm
however
seeing
your
it opening
vibes.
weekend. I don't know if I can get like pre-Friday
Yeah.
watch,
Opening weekend for sure.
but opening weekend for sure.
All right.
I gotta know what's going on with this movie.
I'm out of town again. Damn it.
You're out of town for this one. We knew that. That's right.
Well,
Well,
I didn't know that. But I'm out of town for Doctor Strange again. Also.
Oh.
so
Oh
just
my
every time.
gosh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just can't.
Idiot.
No more traveling.
No. You're doing the more important thing. You're inspiring us to travel more. And then next up, I put episode 5. Some of these numbers might change, but in the very near future, we'll be talking about an MCU show on Disney Plus called Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, it's coming, guys.
It's coming.
Wow.
You're pumped.
I am so pumped.
Carrie, what does this poster say to you?
This poster says I have no idea what this could possibly be. Maybe,
What do you think it is?
Well, it looks like the moon has become a man.
It's the man on the moon,
If you believe,
and it's night.
The man is the moon.
Oscar's a man in the moon.
I think he's basically like a mummy, right? Is he a mummy? I'm looking at you.
No, he is not a mummy.
What is
Was
he?
I closer?
He's
Moon Man?
yeah, no.
he is actually
A man moon.
possessed.
Man Moon.
He's the moon that has become a man.
Okay.
He's possessed by an Egyptian entity.
Ooh, Egyptian. Well,
Yes.
I said mummy.
I mean, mummy, but he's not like.
not all
You
mummies.
know,
Have you ever seen The Mummy with Brendan Fraser?
Yeah. Okay.
That-
This straight up, this is Batman if he had multiple personality disorders.
and probably some powers.
Yeah,
Probably kills people.
absolutely.
Cool.
And this was PG-13, but I mean Disney Plus rated R now. I'm not convinced that they might not switch.
Oh,
it.
we're coming here up on what's the 16th? Is when we
16th.
get all the Netflix content.
That's the big day for sure. March 16th, rated R content comes to Disney Plus, and a plethora of the MCU shows: Daredevil, Jessica Jones, The Defenders, and also Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Absolutely. Carrie, you're wearing a nice shirt there.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can get it? They can see it on our screen right
well,
now.
I got this one
Mm.
at mostlysuperheroes.com/merch, which is the best place to shop for our merch.
Yes, and we have all the new designs there still up on the site. We're rocking them all the time. I saw you put in a big order. Who put in a big order? A friend of yours lately.
Sean Tron.
Sean, man, really appreciate you. I saw you put that order in. We saw people sporting all sorts of gear at Well Spent Brewing a couple weeks ago.
Love it.
Scotty, I know you and Shannon have got some stuff. So
Oh,
much
yeah.
stuff there.
Watch out for these stickers all around the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, ever since Mardi Gras, they're all over the place. We got more swag that we're talking about getting. I know that on the list is hats. So we got to talk about how we're going to make hats happen.
Okay.
Would you guys wear hats?
Oh, absolutely.
Look at 'em.
Every
I
day.
know.
Every day. No, I don't think any listeners even know what the top of my head look like unless they're my friend.
I was going to ask you guys,
Hats every day.
is there anything that we should be talking about outside of Moon Knight and which will be, that's 6 episodes. So
Yeah.
like we might wait till they all wrap up and then get in here. We got Morbius. Anything else in the next few weeks that I looked at the schedule today and I was like, I don't think there's anything big coming out. So the only way I feel like we get in here is if maybe we pick a random week and we do like an old title. We could do, like pull one out of the archive.
Might get a little thirsty to get down here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
agree.
a reason to get down here. And I mean, we've watched so many new things, and apparently there's always going to be new things.
Oh yeah.
So I want us to be thinking about the stuff that we want to pull out of the archive and do some old review, even stuff that we've
Okay.
talked about before. It doesn't matter, it's like we come in here fresh. We got a whole new format now. We're bringing music into the show. Let's bring some old titles into the show.
I think we still have Into the Spider-Verse.
I was thinking
Let's
about
check.
that. I was like,
Maybe until the next one comes
maybe
out.
the next one,
or-
because then we could do like one and then the
Yeah.
other.
That's a good idea.
Okay. We'll get in the group chat and figure it out. But let's go ahead and do a roundtable, do a final sign off. In case you don't know, we got new episodes on Monday, everywhere you get podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, video in those places as well. And Sunday on Patreon with that pre-show exclusive. Scotty Scoop, why don't you give the squad a nice sign off before we say goodbye for a couple weeks?
Thanks for listening, everyone. Battinson is great. Bale is trash.
Man,
Have a
I'm
good
trash.
I like how you say that and you just point at Andy.
I'm trash.
week. Throwing it to Andy.
Andy, I'm going to save you for last since you had the most fun today. Carrie, how did this go?
This was a lot of fun. Normally, I just hear the muffles through the floorboards, and it was good to be actually at the table. Hope I come back soon.
Do you feel like what we did here in the studio has been a success? Is this the space?
I mean, yeah,
Pretty fun, right?
look at it.
And sounds great. Normally, we used to be able to hear that bubble bath draining.
Yeah.
And Scott said
Yeah.
it last time. He's
in
like,
the middle of the meat, we
I-
usually hear it.
Yep.
All right,
when
Andy.
yep.
Andy, tell us about what you felt today, man.
Well, yeah, just you guys killed it with the studio, by the way.
Thanks, buddy.
Just reminding you again. Just in awe every time I look around. See some things have moved around. certain things above me. So,
Yeah, people don't even know. We got posters all over the ceiling in this place.
but yeah, you guys said it best. I had the most fun today. Batman just hits different for me. Like, just growing up, Batman 89 every day as a kid. Like, this is just me just reliving my childhood, and I love it. Talking about it with you guys was great. So hopefully everyone enjoys listening to it as much as I loved talking about it.
Yeah, man, we get in here, we hash it out to help you guys think through it, help you find some things maybe you missed, but also we've had fans reach out and say they rewatch movies because of this podcast, and like that's what it's about for me too, is kind of going back, re-experiencing it, and like being honest with yourself about why you feel the way you do. I feel like that's what we're doing in here. So love you guys, appreciate you guys, Scott, Andy, Carrie, listener, fans, we appreciate you. Thank you. Extra special thank you to our Patreon patrons. And we'll see you when we get in here next time. Got plenty of things coming up in the rest of 2022, and we can't wait to see you again. Take it easy.